You did everything right this morning. You woke up, made yourself something to eat, maybe it was oatmeal, maybe it was whole wheat toast with a glass of orange juice, and you told yourself that was a healthy start to the day. Surprised? But here is what nobody tells you. That breakfast you just ate may have triggered a cascade inside your body that began damaging your metabolism before you even finished your coffee. Not eventually. Not in 10 years. This morning. Right now. Size. This is happening to millions of adults over 50 across the country, people who are eating what they believe are healthy foods, following the advice they were given, and slowly becoming invisible victims of a process they never knew existed. It is called insulin resistance. And by the time most people hear that phrase from their doctor, the damage inside their blood vessels, their organs, and their cells may already be years in the making. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I am going to show you 5 common daily habits that are quietly accelerating this process right now. Habits so normal, so accepted, that your doctor has probably never once flagged them as dangerous. My name is Dr. Daniel Carter, and I have spent over 3 decades studying metabolic medicine and the way the body processes blood sugar over time. If you are over the age of 50, this message is specifically for you. Because what I am about to share does not apply to everyone equally. It applies most powerfully to the body you are living in right now, at this stage of life. This message could literally change the course of your health. So let us begin. Here is what is happening inside your body right now, and most people have no idea. Your pancreas produces a hormone called insulin. Think of insulin as a key. Every cell in your body has a lock. When glucose, blood sugar, enters your bloodstream after a meal, insulin unlocks those cells so the glucose can get inside and be used as fuel. That is how it is supposed to work. But when the body is exposed to repeated blood sugar spikes over months and years, caused by specific habits we are going to discuss today, the cells begin to ignore insulin. They stop responding. The locks get jammed. Your pancreas, sensing that blood sugar is still too high, floods your system with more and more insulin. And eventually, that system starts to break down. The American Diabetes Association has noted that this process unfolds silently. There is no alarm, no pain, no dramatic warning. The consequences, however, are anything but silent. We are talking about hardening and narrowing of the arteries, chronic inflammation throughout the body, nerve damage that begins in the feet and works its way up, declining kidney function, and an elevated risk of heart attack and stroke that most people never see coming. Tonight, I want to show you the 5 habits that are accelerating this process right now, and exactly what you can do to stop them. Habit number 5. The morning drink you think is helping you. Almost nobody sees this one as a problem. It is marketed as healthy. It has vitamins on the label, and for millions of people over 50, it is the very first thing that enters their body every morning. I am talking about fruit juice. Here is what happens inside your body when you drink a glass of orange juice on an empty stomach. Within minutes, a large quantity of fructose and glucose floods your bloodstream. There is no fiber to slow it down, no protein, no fat, nothing to buffer the impact. Your pancreas fires a massive surge of insulin to catch up, and that is exactly the kind of repeated spike that trains your cells to stop listening. A landmark study published in the British Medical Journal found that regular consumption of fruit juice was associated with a significantly higher risk of type 2 diabetes, even when total fruit consumption was high. I had a patient, a 58-year-old woman named Linda. She came to me for a routine checkup. Healthy weight, active, no family history of diabetes. Her blood sugar numbers surprised both of us. She started every morning with a large glass of fresh squeezed orange juice. That habit alone was silently spiking her insulin twice before 8 a.m. The fix is simple. Replace juice with whole fruit. The fiber changes everything. A whole orange takes minutes to eat and delivers the same vitamins, but it enters your bloodstream slowly, like a controlled release. That is biology working the way it was designed. And here is the detail almost nobody mentions. If you are not ready to give up juice entirely, cut it with water, half juice, half sparkling water, and always have it with protein. That buffer makes a measurable difference. How many times this week did you start your morning with juice or a smoothie? Tell me honestly in the comments. Habit number 4. eating every 2 hours. This one surprises almost everyone, because we were all told the same thing. Eat small meals frequently, keep your metabolism going, never let yourself get hungry. That advice, for most people over 50, is making insulin resistance worse. Here is what happens inside your body when you eat every 2 hours. Every time food enters your system, even a handful of crackers, even a small protein bar, your pancreas releases insulin. Each release is a signal. And when insulin is constantly elevated throughout the day, your cells spend all day in a state of insulin exposure. Over time, they start tuning it out. Researchers from the Salk Institute have described this cycle as one of the primary drivers of metabolic dysfunction in modern adults. The body needs time without insulin present. Periods where it can repair, where cells can reset their sensitivity, where fat stores can actually be accessed for energy. I think of a patient of mine, a 63-year-old retired teacher named Robert. He prided himself on eating 6 small meals a day. He had been doing it for 15 years. When I reviewed his metabolic panel, his insulin levels were chronically elevated even when he had not eaten for several hours. His cells had become almost completely deaf to the signal. The good news is, this brings immediate benefits when you change it. Start by extending the gap between meals. 3 satisfying meals a day, no snacking. Allow 4 to 5 hours between each. Your insulin has time to fall. Your cells begin to recover their sensitivity. Most people notice more stable energy within 2 weeks. Are you a frequent snacker? Be honest. Drop your answer below. Habit number 3, the hour you spend on the couch after dinner. This is the most dangerous hour of your metabolic day, and almost nobody treats it that way. You finish dinner, you sit down. Maybe you watch television, maybe you read. You have earned the rest. Within 30 minutes, your blood sugar is rising, and you are completely still. Here is what happens inside your body during that hour. After a meal, your muscles are the primary destination for glucose. When muscles are active, they absorb glucose rapidly, and they do it without insulin. But when you are sitting motionless, that glucose has nowhere to go efficiently. Your pancreas compensates, insulin spikes, and the glucose that should have been absorbed by working muscle gets processed through a far more damaging pathway. A study published in Diabetologia found that even light walking after meals, just 10 minutes, reduced post-meal blood sugar spikes by up to 22% compared to sitting. I once sat across from a patient, a 67-year-old man named George, who told me his evenings were sacred. Dinner at 6:30, television until 10. His A1C had climbed steadily for 3 years without him changing a single food. We added one thing: a 10-minute walk after dinner. Within 4 months, his numbers had shifted more than any medication he had taken. Starting tonight, take a walk after dinner. It does not have to be long. 10 minutes around the block is enough to activate your muscles and begin clearing post-meal glucose before it builds. That is not fear-mongering. That is medicine. What do you usually do in the hour after dinner? Let me know below. Habit number 2. The sleep habit that is wrecking your insulin sensitivity. Most people will never connect their blood sugar to their bedtime. But what happens while you sleep may be the most powerful metabolic event of your entire day. Here is what the research shows. When you sleep fewer than 6 hours, or when you sleep with the television on, with light coming in from the hall, with your phone charging on the nightstand, your body's ability to regulate blood sugar the following day is measurably, significantly worse. Here is what is happening inside your body. During deep sleep, your body secretes growth hormone. It repairs tissue. It recalibrates cortisol, the stress hormone that, when elevated, directly raises blood sugar. When sleep is disrupted or shortened, cortisol stays elevated. And elevated cortisol tells the liver to release glucose into the bloodstream. By the time you wake up, your blood sugar may already be elevated, before you have eaten a single thing. A major study published in The Lancet found that just 6 days of sleep restriction, under 6 hours per night, reduced insulin sensitivity in healthy young adults by 40%. That was 6 days. Think about what years of disrupted sleep does to the body. I think of Margaret, a 61-year-old woman who came to me convinced her diet was the problem. She ate carefully, moved regularly, and still could not get her fasting blood sugar under control. When we looked at her sleep, she was averaging 5.5 hours a night. Her bedroom was never fully dark. Her phone was 2 feet from her head. We fixed her sleep before we changed a single food. Her numbers responded within 3 weeks. The fix begins tonight. Make your bedroom cold, dark, and silent. Remove screens from the room. Set a consistent bedtime, even on weekends. Your body has the capacity to recover its insulin sensitivity when sleep is restored. The science is solid. How many hours of sleep do you average each night? Write your number in the comments. Habit number 1. The first thing you eat every morning. This is the most important habit on our list because it sets the metabolic tone for your entire day. Get this wrong, and every insulin decision your body makes for the next 12 hours is harder. Most people over 50 start their morning with carbohydrates: toast, cereal, oatmeal, a banana, a muffin, even the ones considered healthy. Here is what that does inside your body. When carbohydrates are the first thing you consume after a 10-hour overnight fast, they enter a system that has been without food all night and is primed to absorb glucose rapidly. There is no protein on board to slow the digestion, no fat to buffer the impact. Your blood sugar spikes sharply, insulin surges, and by 10 a.m., you are already hungry again because that spike caused an equally sharp crash. A randomized controlled trial published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that participants who consumed protein as the first macro of the day experienced 30 to 40% lower blood glucose levels throughout the morning compared to those who started with carbohydrates alone. I had a patient, a 55-year-old man named David, who came to me with classic morning fatigue, brain fog, and cravings by mid-morning. He was eating what he called a healthy breakfast, a bowl of whole grain cereal with low-fat milk. We changed nothing else in his day except his first meal, eggs and vegetables instead. Within 2 weeks, his energy before noon had transformed. Within 3 months, his fasting glucose had dropped meaningfully. The fix: make protein the first thing your body sees in the morning. Eggs, Greek yogurt, smoked fish, a handful of nuts. Anything that signals to your pancreas, slowly, carefully, steadily, that glucose is on its way in a controlled form. Your body will regulate the rest of the morning accordingly. Most people get this wrong. They think starting healthy means starting light. Starting light with carbohydrates is exactly the wrong signal to send a metabolic system that is already struggling. What did you eat for breakfast this morning? Tell me honestly. I read every comment. Here is your complete daily metabolic protection protocol. You do not need a prescription. You do not need expensive supplements. You can start this tonight. 7 a.m. Wake up and drink a full glass of water before anything else. Hydration improves insulin signaling from the moment you rise. 7:30 a.m. Eat a protein-first breakfast. 2 eggs with vegetables or Greek yogurt with nuts. No juice, no toast. Protein anchors your blood sugar for the next 4 to 5 hours. 12:30 p.m. Eat your next meal only when genuinely hungry. Build it around a palm-sized protein, non-starchy vegetables, and a small portion of complex carbohydrate if desired. No snacking before this. 1 p.m. Take a 10-minute walk, even around the office, the neighborhood, the parking lot. Post-meal movement is one of the most powerful metabolic tools available to you. 6:30 p.m. Eat your last meal of the day. Make it early, make it filling, end with protein, not dessert. 6:45 p.m. Walk for 10 to 15 minutes. This is the most important metabolic window of your day. Do not skip it. 9:30 p.m. Begin winding down. Dim lights. No screens. Cool the room. Protect your sleep the way you would protect your most important medicine. According to research compiled by the American College of Lifestyle Medicine, adults who follow a structured eating window combined with consistent post-meal movement reduce their risk of progressing from prediabetes to type 2 diabetes by up to 58%. That is not a small number. That is more than half. You can start this tonight. Not next week. Tonight. Let me bring this together. Habit 5. Starting the morning with fruit juice. a daily blood sugar spike disguised as health. Habit 4. Eating every 2 hours, keeping insulin elevated all day until your cells stop listening. Habit 3. Sitting still after dinner, allowing post-meal glucose to build unchecked during your most vulnerable metabolic window. Habit 2. Disrupted or shortened sleep, silently raising your cortisol and blood sugar before you eat a single meal. Habit 1. Leading your day with carbohydrates, setting the wrong metabolic tone for every hour that follows. Each one of these habits alone puts pressure on your metabolism. Together, they create a perfect storm, day after day, year after year, quietly, without pain, without warning. But here is what I need you to understand. This is not fate. This is not an inevitable part of aging. This is preventable. And for many people, it is reversible. Your pancreas has been working without rest for every year of your life, every meal you have ever eaten, every moment of stress, every sleepless night. It has been there, compensating, adjusting, fighting to keep your blood sugar balanced, without ever asking for a single thing in return. Tonight, you can start giving it something back. Not perfection, not a complete overhaul of everything you eat, just awareness, just one small shift in the direction your body needs. A walk after dinner, a protein-first breakfast, an hour of real sleep in a dark, quiet room. You are not broken. You are not a passive victim of your own biology. You are someone who now understands what is happening inside your body, and that understanding is the first and most powerful step toward change. Take control. Start tonight. If this video helped you understand what may have been happening inside your body without you knowing, please take one more moment before you leave. Subscribe to this channel. Every week I share life-saving health information explained clearly for adults over 50. No jargon, no agenda, just the truth about what is happening inside your body and what you can actually do about it. Hit the like button. It helps this message reach others who may not know they are at risk. People who are following the same habits right now, completely unaware. And in the comments, I want to hear from you. Write the words, "I am changing this tonight." It tells me you are taking this seriously, and it helps this video reach more people who need to see it. If you are comfortable, also drop your age and the city you are watching from. I read many of your comments personally. Finally, share this video. Send it to a partner, a parent, a sibling, a friend, someone you love who starts every morning with juice, someone who has been told their blood sugar is a little high, someone who spends every evening on the couch after dinner. You may never know whose life you protect. I am Dr. Daniel Carter. Thank you for being here. I will see you in the next video.